To all those that are just joining, welcome, welcome, welcome to today's session. We'll be starting the session shortly, but a poll has been launched on your screen. We'd like to get your feedback, but please, can you all please confirm that you can see the poll that's been launched on your screen, so that if there's a need for me to post the link to the form, I can do that in the chat box for everyone to have access to the form. We'll be starting the session shortly. This is to allow for more people to join the session. Thank you everyone for being present, and today's session I will be starting shortly. Thank you. So thank you. I can see more people have joined. Please, if you can see the poll on your screen, please kindly click on it. Fill the poll. We'd like to get your feedback. Welcome once again to all those that have joined or that are just joining us. We'll be starting shortly. You are our special guests that we've been waiting for to join the session. So we're waiting for more people to join, but we'll be starting the session proper in 4 minutes, which is by 11:10. So please bear with us. Um, but while we wait, please kindly fill the poll that is on your screen. Or if you cannot see the poll, please kindly indicate in the chat box so that we can find a way around that. Thank you. Sure, yes. So welcome to those that are just joining us. Welcome to today's session. Please, while we'll be starting the session shortly. We starting the session by 11:10 proper. But while we wait, there's a poll that's been launched on your screen. Please do well to please fill this poll. We would like to hear from you. But please, if you know that you cannot see the display, that is the poll being displayed on your screen, please kindly indicate in the chat box so that we can do something about that. Welcome once again to everyone, and we'll be starting this session, like I said earlier, by 11:10. Thank you. So welcome everyone. It's 11:10 and we're starting the session proper this morning. Can we all confirm that you can hear me in the chat box, please? I need to get confirmation that you can all hear me loud and clear in the chat box. Please kindly confirm that you can hear me in the chat box, please. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's session. Today's session promises to be another very insightful, very educative, very practical, and very interactive session. And today we brought an expert to speak to us on how to be audit ready in a cashless era. And she'll be taking us through a whole lot today. And I hope you have your writing materials with you. Uh, get them ready, get it by your side so that you take note of a whole lot as we go through today's session. And my name is Omotayo Akinwumi. I'm a business and project support officer here at the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. And here at the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, what we do is our aim majorly is to help improve is to help reduce unemployment in Lagos State by providing access to a whole lot of facilities for business owners in Lagos State. We do that by providing access to loan facilities through our loan programs. Under our loan programs, we have them in three different categories, which are namely the MES, which is micro enterprise startup for those that have acquired a skill, a vocational skill, and would like to set up their businesses, but do not have access to finance to set up such businesses. You have access to between 50,000 to 250,000. Now, if you have your business that's been running for a while, for at least a year, and you'd like to access our loan, you can access between 50,000 to 500,000. But if your business is registered and you also like to access our loan facilities above 500,000, you have access to 500 from 501,000 to 5 million naira. Now, these are the three different loan categories that we have. And under these three different loan categories, we operate a single digit loan interest rate, which is 9% per annum. So if you'd like access to these loan facilities, you can please walk into any local government with your LASRA, your tax ID, for those that are under the MES. For those that are under the SME, you will have you ensure that you have your tax receipt, you have your tax ID, your bank statement, your passport photograph, your BVN, your ATM. Once you have all of this documentation, but if you fall under the SME categories, you do ensure that you include your CAC certificate alongside these other documents I've mentioned. You can walk into any local government close to you because we are situated in all local governments in Lagos State. In all the 20 local governments in Lagos State, you find our officers there and on ground ready to attend to you. We're also situated in 6 LCDs also. So you can walk into any local government close to you and our officers will be on ground to attend to you. Ask for the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund office. And in some local governments, we are known as a loan office. So you can do well to ask for the loan office and our officers will be on ground to attend to you. Now, we don't just have our loan programs, we also have our capacity building programs, which we run through our master classes, our advisory sessions under the business and project support unit. We also have our access to our hubs, where you can, if you're in the fashion space, you need a space where you can work at a very low cost. You don't have access to probably machines, you don't have access to shops, to a shop where you can, but you have your clients and you need access to every sort of machine as a fashion designer. You can walk into our hubs, our fashion hub, where you get the opportunity to use, you have machines on ground where you can use at little cost. Aside from our fashion hubs, we also have our free business registrations that we have on offer for business owners in partnership with Smedan. We at no cost at all. We also have our access to markets, which we give. This is where we give business owners opportunities to exhibit their products at various fairs, other ones um, personally organized by the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund itself or in partnership with some of our partners out there. So you get the opportunity to exhibit your products at low cost. This gives you the opportunity to network with other business owners like yourself and also gives you the opportunity to get to increase your customer base. So these are some of the opportunities that we have on offer at the business and project support unit. We also have our Lagos Innovate units, which deals with those that are basically in the tech space. You have budding tech ideas you like to bring to life. You are in need of a workspace voucher. This is where our Lagos Innovate team comes in. So please be on the lookout. If you're also within the ages of 18 to 35, you'd like to acquire a skill in either fashion, in beauty, in the digital space, in HVAC and the likes. This is where our Lagos Employability team also comes in. So if you would like to know more about our programs or benefit from any of these programs that I mentioned and more, please do follow us on all our social media platforms. We are Lagos State Employment Trust Fund on all of these platforms, and you get the opportunity to have um you know you get the opportunity to participate or not miss out on any of the programs that we have on offer at the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. So today I have with me Madam Olubumi Omonubi, and she'll be taking us through today's session. Now I'll be introducing Madam Olubumi Omonubi, and Madam Olubumi Omonubi is the Chief Executive Officer and Senior Consultant of Jodha Elevated Services, and it is a robust accounting management structure training and tax advisory firm with operations across Nigeria, Ghana, Dubai, the United States, and the United Kingdom. She provides strategic financial leadership to businesses, helping them build strong structures, ensure compliance, and achieve sustainable growth. She holds a Bachelor's of Science in Administration from Central University College, Ghana, and a master's degree in Business and Management from Northumbria University, United Kingdom. Olubumi Omanubi has also earned dual professional qualifications, that is the CGMA and the ACMA, with the Chartered which is the Chartered Institute of Management, and is a part qualified chartered accountant with an ACCA. With over 2 decades of experience in accounting, strategy, and taxation, Olubumi Omolubi brings deep expertise in tax planning, compliance, and advisory services. She has worked with reputable accounting and audit firms in both the United States and the United Kingdom and West Africa at large, gaining extensive hands-on experience supporting small and medium-sized enterprises across over 30 industries. Beyond advisory work, Olubumi is a seasoned trainer and mentor. She has trained business owners, managers, accountants, and administrative staff on accounting systems, business structure, tax efficiency, and growth strategies, and is empowering organizations to make informed financial decisions and operate with confidence. She has worked with businesses across 30 industries, supporting owners from the startup stage through growth and scaling profitability of businesses. Through job-related services, Olumi Omonubi continues to drive excellence in financial advisory services, supporting businesses to scale responsibly, remaining compliant, and building long-term value. Please can we welcome Madam Olubumi Omonubi as she takes us through today's session. Madam Olubumi, please you can go ahead. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Ms. Tayo, for the amazing introduction and just hearing everything that the organization do, Lagos State Employment Trust Fund do. It's just amazing. As someone who is in the forefront of business, I would say that's amazing work to help business go to the next level. So thank you, thank you, thank you. How is everyone doing? Hope we're good. Are we ready to learn? Just give me a thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. If you are ready, thumbs up. I'm seeing a hand raised, but I want thumbs up that you are here and you are ready. Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Oluwatosin Folayo. Am I pronouncing that well? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good. Hi, Teye Daramola. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, fantastic. Oluwatosi, you are ready. Good, 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 good. So let's start. Let's start. Let's start. So today's topic is how to be audit ready in a cashless economy, right? Looking at your e-invoicing and other things. And I'm going to throw in some things there. As business owners, we have a lot of moving parts. But before I start, I would like to say this so that we are aware. This session is going to be very, very practical, and it's going to take the structure of a sermon. With sermon, we don't have slides, right? Whether you are in church or in the mosque, your imam or pastor does not give you slides. And I'm deliberately not giving slides or not displaying slides because I want you to pay attention. Fantastic. I want you to pay attention to what I am saying. And the one that affects your business, I want you to write it down. Every training, especially trainings with business owners, I like to make it very practical and something you can implement today. I believe that there are a number of things you can do with your time right now, but we have 18 people here who wants to learn how to be audit ready, right? So as we go on, please take notes, put down your questions. We're going to have ample time for questions. We're going to have three major areas. So I'm going to start with training, talking about the topic and what you can do. We are going to then have question and answer for the first part. Then we will have two case studies for a product business and a service business. You do not want to miss that because we are going to bring a real life situation. I'm going to talk about the various aspects of this. I'm going to break it down so that you can relate to it and see this is something that you will want to implement. And the last thing is tax. We know we are in the regime or in the era where tax is very important. So please ensure that you don't miss any of this. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go on. The topic is how to be, let me get the exact topic, how to be audit ready in a cashless era, talking directly on e-invoicing and reconciliation. So just so that we are all on the same page and we have the same knowledge, I'm going to break down the topic. So first thing, what is audit? What does audit mean? If you have any idea of what audit means, can you put it on the chat? What does audit mean to you? What does audit mean to you? Quickly, 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 so that we can maximize our time. What does audit mean to you? I'm not saying anything. I just want to hear one or two persons say, what does audit? When you hear the word audit, what does it mean to you? What does audit mean to you? I'm not getting any response yet. Anyone? Any takers? Audit, audit, audit. What does audit mean to you? This session is a very practical session. I want your involvement in it. Exactly. Thank you, Akim Bamiru. Bamiru. Sorry, I'm very bad with pronouncing names. Review your activities. Good. The process of cross-checking your periodic transaction. Fantastic. What comes in and what goes out. Fantastic. Fantastic. Check your financial activities. Fantastic. You are all correct. And that's the summary of audit. To check the true and fair. Oh, wow, this is a true auditor. The true and fair, fantastic. An audit is process of checking, review, and fantastic. Yes, 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 yes. You are correct. Wow, I have sharp brains in this class. So let's go, let's go, let's go. So that is what you have said so far, right? But basically, it's checking what you have done, right? It's checking what you have done so far to make sure that everything is correct, right? But then you're checking your finance, you're checking your sales, you're checking expenses, you are checking inventory, you are checking everything for your business from when you attract customers to when you close them out. Everything they check. They check to show proof that that activity actually happened. So if you say you have sales of 50,000 naira, 10,000 naira, 5,000 naira, 2,000, 1,000 naira, whatever that's coming, what is the proof that you actually made a sale? Did you give service? What service did you give? Was there an invoice? Was there a receipt? What's the proof that that person consumed the service? What time would that service be seen as completed? Have you sold products? Has your inventory reduced? Did you buy products? Things like this are what will be checked during audit. So that tells you that if all these things will be checked during audit, means that you have to keep record of these things, right? As we go through the class, I'm going to be breaking down how these things, all these areas of your business should be tracked. The audit is basically saying things have happened. We are now checking to ensure that what you are saying happened actually happened and are properly recorded or represented in your records or in your financial reports. Okay. So, what are the types of audits you can have? Right? So, we have said audit is checking what is happening, okay, or what has happened. So, what type of audits would you have? The first one is you can have external audits. An external audit can be your FRS audits or NRS, as we have it right now, where the tax man comes to your business and say, to check whether your taxes are correct. So you have said this is your sales, right? When we get to the final session, talk about tax, I'm going to break that part to you. But this is what you said, right? And this is your sale, this is your tax, you didn't charge VAT, this is your total sales for the month, for the year, for the period, whatever. What is the proof that that is happening, right? So you have your tax audit. You also have your usual annual financial audit. So if you're a limited liability company, this is compulsory for you. Your business has to be audited every year by a chartered, qualified, practicing auditor. right, who has gone through the audit process, has a seal, and can verify your account. I'm mentioning these things because they are very important. Not everybody that just says, I'm an accountant or an auditor can do an audit, right? So they have to be registered, they have to be in good standing, they have to have a stamp. So if you have an audited account that is not stamped by the auditor, I mean, those things that look like letter stamp, those olden days letter stamp, right? You have to have that in your audited account for it to be something that can hold water, right? So that's the FRS audit. You can also have, so this is two external audits. You can also have internal audits. Internal audits is when you, the business owner, says, I want to audit, I want to review, I want to check what is happening. So the business owner can say, oh, I want to check and audit my inventory. I want to check and audit my sales and make sure that all the money or all the products that we have sold, we actually got the money into our bank account or we actually got value. And the inventory that has actually left our business, what is remaining is what is remaining. You can have that. You can also audit your process and say, okay, when we started 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, this is how we're operating. But now, the way things are right now, we have to change our way of operating. I want to audit my process to be able to know whether it is good enough to stand what we are doing now. If you have a board, you have a governing body, they can also request for an audit. All these types of audits are internal, right? So we are on the same page what audit means and what types of audits we have. So when we say we are in a cashless economy, what is a cashless economy? I always say there are levels to cashless economy or a cashless business. You can say, oh, I only do transfer, right? I only do POS, right? I don't collect cash. But sometimes someone will come and say, please, oh, I don't my bank app is not working, or my card is not working, I have cash. Of course, you want to sell, you collect the cash. Okay. What do you do with the cash? Do you use it to go and pay for something, or you bank it in your bank account so that it's easily tracked? Right? Do you give invoices, things like that? Okay. So there are levels of cashless business. But in that level, right, you want to make sure that no matter how the money is coming in, you are able to track it and you are keeping record of it, right? So as we talk now, you want to look at your business, want to think about your business and say, okay, what level of cashless situation do I have in my business? And in the situation where I am taking cash, how am I tracking the cash, right? So now we've known what audit means. We know the types of audit that can happen for your business or in your business or to your business. We know what cashless means and the levels of cashless business that we can have. So now let's look at auditing our business, right? As business owners, there are some things that you should, as the lead, you should spearhead. Whenever I am doing operational structure, one of the services we offer in our business, we do operational structures for business. I always tell the business owner, if you are not going to champion this process, don't bother spending your money because it's time consuming, it's cost, it requires money and it requires time, right? It requires process and it requires turning people's mind, which is one of the difficult parts. It requires building structures of templates and all that, which we will also talk about, right? So when you want to look at your structure, you as the business owner has to be one that is championing this. You have to be the one that is saying, we said every day or every week we are going to be having this report. Where is my report? Because if you don't ask your staff, or if you are the only person in your business, you don't keep those records, it will not happen, right? So I'm going to talk about what the different stages of a business, what kind of record you should be keeping to make sure that your business is up to par and is ready for audits, and also what are the implications if you don't do this, okay? So now, looking at your whole business, every business, whether it's a product business, a service business, or whatever area you are in, has a number of stages. The first one is, how do you attract your customers? Whether you are selling products or services to them, you would be giving, you would need to get customers. So how do you attract them? Do you attract them through Facebook ads, through DMs, through WhatsApp, through Instagram, through just name it? But you have to know which channels your business uses. Is it recommendations, right? Is it word of mouth? Is it is it WhatsApp stories? You need to know at least your top 3 or top 4 areas you attract customers. Why do you need to know that? Because you want to know which areas you should focus on, right? So that's the first thing. As a business owner, you want to make sure that you are putting your energy in the areas that are important to you. So if you look at your top 4, you know, okay, these WhatsApp story, WhatsApp DMs, Instagram DMs, and Instagram ads are my top. I'm just giving an example. It are my top areas. So you want to say, how do I make sure I consistently get clients through that place? So, in the way you are going to be getting clients is the way you are going to track it, right? Why do you need to track that when you are thinking about audit ready? Because it is the customers that come from these channels that you are going to service. So if you know a customer is coming through Instagram DM, for example, so how do you close out? Do you now send them to WhatsApp, or do you send them to your website, or is someone on Instagram DM actually responding and closing them out there? Whenever you are closing them out, you have to have a way for tracking it. Whether it's going to be an Excel sheet, it's going to be a Google sheet where they fill a form, it goes there, or someone who is closing it out is recording their information there, recording what they are requesting, what product, what service, so that you then go to the next level. So you are keeping records on that. You are saying, okay, 20 people requested for service, only 5 were able to be closed out. Why do I have that situation? That is audit, and that is very important for your business, right? So that's the first stage. Now you have gotten them to come in to ask about your business, and then they are willing to buy from you, whether it's a product or a service. So now they are willing to buy from you. Do you start the process? Do you give an invoice? Do you have an onboarding session? Do you give them information about your product and services? What is it you do? But one thing that cannot be missing either way when you are trying to now sell to your customer is invoice. Invoice is very important, and it cuts across all types of audits, whether it's internal or external, right? Whatever type of audit you are doing, in fact, all of them, not especially FRS or NRS. NRS will not accept any money as saying it is your sales or it is this particular document if you do not have something to back it up. So you sold something. How am I sure that that 50,000 does not include VAT? Meanwhile, you did not pay VAT on it. Or how am I sure that those products that you sold were actually exempted from tax? How am I sure that the money that came in was not sales, it was actually somebody who was giving you loan, but you captured it as sales because you wanted to beef in your sales, or your internal accountant or external accountant, or even you made a mistake to record it wrongly. The thing that will make audits to be justifiable is those or are these documents, and one of them is your invoice. So please, I'm going to say this here. If you don't have a software where you are doing invoice, I'm talking about Word document or Excel that you now just edit it and then send it. No, I'm talking about an actual software. One of the things we did when the new tax law started was we sent a message to all our clients last year. I think it was August or September, and say, please, we need to onboard you into an accounting software. And we made a research and we found out that Zoho Books was very easy to use. So we started using that. You also have QuickBooks and other ones out there. But one of the ones we recommend is Zoho. And we also set up businesses on that. We will train you how to use it. And it not just have invoice, it has the accounting side. So as you are doing your invoices, you are seeing people who are owing you, who have not paid. You are seeing people who you have done invoice for, they've not taken the service, or you see people you don't invoice for, you know, total sales of the month, you know, it's total expenses. So it helps you to be able to make better decisions for your business, right? So please, one thing you have to do, like if you don't have it before the end of today, go and do so. Register yourself, your business in an accounting app that does invoice, please. If you do not have or know how to do it, please reach out to us. I have someone online who can give you my WhatsApp number and my Instagram link for you to reach out. So reach out to us and let us help you. But please, before the end of today, make sure that you got that sorted. So invoice, right? So that is one thing that you definitely have to have. So when you have that invoice, what do you now do with it? You have to make sure that your invoice is correctly prepared. So let me give examples of businesses here. If you are here and you are listening to me, just send on the chat the business or the industry you are in. Are you in fashion? Are you in food? Are you in, what's it now? Are you in services? What kind of services do you give? So that I can use your business, fashion and business. Fantastic. Thank you, Deji. So fashion and business. When you are in fashion, you are selling either products or service. So, okay, fantastic distribution. I'm going to be giving those examples as I see them. So, when you are in fashion, the way you do your invoice is that you want to make sure that you separate your products from your services, right? So you know, but when you separate your invoice, especially with Zoho, when we set it up, you're able to know what class of products you are selling, how much you are making from there. But especially, you want to know whether those areas are vatable, right? So there are some products that are in fashion because I have different classes of fashion businesses, right? There are some skincare, there are makeup, there are jewelry, there are clothes. So depending on where you are, you're able to know where you fit in. So make sure that you have it separate. Who are giving a product. I have a client who gives products as recommendations and also give facials, for example. So if you are doing that, you want to make sure that your service is separate. The products are separate, right? Then let me give another example. Okay, yes, we have farming. That's the last one I'm seeing from Albert. For farming, if you are directly farming and not processing, that is VAT exempted. So you need to be able to know or state in your invoice what you are selling. 10 tubers of yam, a basket of fresh tomatoes. All these things would help to be able to know whether you are vatable, one, the areas of your product that you are selling and how much you are making. Those businesses are good enough, the revenue that are coming are good enough. So if you are farming, and let's say you did tomatoes, pepper, onions, and you found out that, let's say, pepper was not giving you as much money, if I was giving you 0.1%, meanwhile the one you should have put your effort to, let's say tomatoes, that was giving you 80% of your revenue, you took that time and go and put in pepper. When you see that data, you are able to understand it, right? So it is not just for the sake of it, it also helps your business, because I told you, you have both internal and external audit. So when you are doing your invoice, make sure that it is clearly stated, right? Let me see if we have any service business in the list. We have education. Uh, okay, we have more. Okay, we have SMG distribution. So a distribution business. It's a very unique business. Why? Because if you are distributing and you are getting the products for the customer, the products you are getting from the customer is not your money, right? But the service, the same thing with event business. The service is actually your money, right? The same thing with event business in the sense that you are trying to give to record, okay, healthcare. Excuse me. You are trying to give service to a let's say for a wedding for a bride that wants to do a wedding. You might need to, excuse me, get caterers, musicians, chair hire, table hire, decorations, all that, right? You are doing these on behalf of the client. The same thing with the SNG. If you are doing distribution, but you now get the products that you now deliver, because I have a client who is like that. They get the product from abroad and they deliver, but their service is actually the distribution and the delivery. So what you need to know is that the money that comes into your bank account is not all sales. So if a customer pays you, let's say 5 million, and from that 5 million, 4 million is to buy products, and your actual money is your 1 million, your invoice has to clearly say that. Don't lump everything in your invoice and say distribution and product. No, you are doing yourself a great harm. Remember, there is a cap of 100 million. If you don't get up to that, you don't have to pay that. So imagine you have only 1 million as your income, but 5 million came into your bank account. So you need to make sure that you are only capturing the 1 million as your income, not the 5 million. And where does it start from? Your invoice. That's what I'm stressing. Your invoice has to be properly documented. And that is one of the starting points for audits. The question is, where is the starting point? That is where you start from. And that's what explains the money that has come into your business. Okay. So we've talked about some of these. Okay, so we now have your invoice. You know how to properly invoice it. You know whether you should do VAT or not. You know what is your money and what's not your money. And then you have recorded that. Then now that's sales. What other monies come into your bank account apart from sales? We have loans, director giving money to the business. That director one, let me say this as an accountant, right? And also being audit ready. If you, as a business owner, for any reason, your business does not have enough money, and you have some money you want to give to the business, maybe to buy inventory, to pay rent, to pay salaries, or whatever, please don't spend the money from your bank account. I'm going to say that again. Don't spend the money from your personal bank account. Move the money to your business account with the narration loan, and then spend the money from your business account. Why? Because that is an audit trail. Your business bank account is an audit document. It is what shows whoever wants to audit, including you, what has actually happened, right? So we're talking about cashless economy here. So everything is going through your bank account. And two, please don't take sales in your personal account. It's not going to help you, because if you want to take loan, you want to show proof of traction, you want to show what you have done so far, you want to do partnerships, what should be used to defend what you have done so far is your business account. Don't try and say, oh, I'm trying to avoid tax, so pay the money to my personal account. Because when you pay the money to your personal account, your personal tax is also going to go up. We'll talk about it when we get to tax, okay? So now your loan, or you're using your business, your personal money for business, make sure that that money is moved to your business account, and then from there you pay your salaries, you pay for inventory, pay for rent or whatever you want to pay for. With that, you can take your money back without that being an income to you, because you've given the business 500,000, 100,000, 50,000, whatever. You can take the money back when money comes into the business, and it's a loan repayment. Shikina, right? Because if you take money and you don't show why you are taking that money from the business, it is seen as if you are drawing from the business, so it's an income to you, or you are now the one owing the business. Because I get that a lot. We are doing accounts for a client, for a number of clients, and then we see a lot of money going to the client, the account. I was like, you are owing the business 20 million. 20 million. When I'm even spending money for the business, I'm like, the business is saying, break it down and say, oh, the money that was sent to me was used to pay for suppliers that came to the business, or to pay for refreshment, or to pay for transport, or to pay for one thing or the other, or to pay for inventory, or to sort out some cash expenses. My bills don't have a card, so I'm using my card. So when you are doing those transfers, whether it is loan repayment or it's payment for inventory that you are sending to your account, please put the narration of what it is, right? Inventory. Maybe let me take another business. Let's say farming now, farming supplies, payment for farm labor, or harvesting, or ridge, what's it called now? Manures, all those things, you have to state it. If not, the money will be seen as you drawing money from the business. Be taxed on that. In fact, some situations they would say that the director is owing the business money and it has to pay. Or they will calculate tax on that money and you have to pay. So you have to be very careful, because audits, in fact, I've stopped saying audit can happen. Audit will happen. It's just a matter of time. But when we get to tax, I'll let you know that there's nobody that is hidden in the tax for the tax man. You are open as a book, including your bank account. Everything is open like this, right? It's just that they're not ready for you yet. Seriously, I'm telling you, truth, that's the truth, right? So make sure that you don't spend any 1 naira from your business account without proper documentation and narration. See, that TP which you have put there, it better than putting nothing. The amount of times we've done bank statement analysis for audits, I'm like, remember what 500,000 I used it for? 500,000? This name, did I pay this? But that, if you just put TP, now it's transport, it will juggle your memory. Put I don't know, fair. Maybe you have an event and you say fair. Putting nothing. But put something that you are familiar with. If you know that TP doesn't mean transport to you, please don't put TP. Put transport. If you know fair does not mean anything to you, don't put fair. Instead, say event expense, right? But make sure you are putting narration, and that's the only way you can defend yourself. So, second thing. Third thing with expenses is that you have to make sure you have a third-party documentation. What do I mean by that? Third-party documentation means that the person you are paying to give you a document that proves that you paid them for that thing, right? Either it's a receipt or an invoice or a contract or something that states that I am doing business with this person. I have paid this person for this thing for this reason, and this amount is either part payment or full payment, right? So always ask for it. I know, for example, for farming, let me look for another industry. Fashion, you don't have any excuse. Confectionery, there are some examples where confectionaries can be an issue because you are buying from the market and they don't have receipts. Here's what I will say to you. Go and design receipts for the people you buy often for. Go and design receipts. When you go, let them just write, you will write what they have done. Let them just stamp, whether it's even finger thumbprint or signing, write their name or thing, but have a copy. This is what I advise my clients to do, because when you go to audits, whether it's NRS audit or financial audit, even your own self, when you are auditing and you cannot remember what you paid that for, but you have a document that shows that this is what it is for and why you paid that money, it helps to solve problems in your business. You are not the one that is front facing to buy that thing. That document helps to prove whatever you are buying, right? Yes, we have very interesting stuff that would tell them or the vendor or supplier to write whatever he wants to write. Yes, we have those situations and there are ways around that. But at the end of the day, get a third-party document, right? The other thing is contracts. We're talking about being audit ready here. If you have a contract with someone to say you will be supplying us this, or we will be in this relationship with you, or we would be the one to supply you this, have an MOU that is signed. Don't have an MOU that is only you that signed it. Let's ensure the other person signs it, the other party, individual organization signs it, and you have a copy. That is your audit document, or what we call audit trail. That would say the reason why you will pay a particular sum of money at a particular time. I always like to bring it in. Yes, audit trail for whatever you are doing, but for your business sake, you need to be able to keep records, right? So that in case something happens tomorrow, you're able to say, this is what we signed. This is what we agreed on. This is what we said we are going to do. It helps your business. Believe me, for someone who has been in business, not in business, but in the career of accounting and strategy and structure, I would tell you that this can save your business a whole lot of help. I'm telling you. Please, 1 second. Okay. So now you have your contracts, you have your invoice properly written, you have monies moved from your personal account to business account where you have to fund. What other kind of monies can come into your business? So one thing I see a lot, which makes me laugh when I see it, is family and friends sending money for things that are not for business, sending into business. So we have situations where family members contribute money for their parents, or they contribute money to pay rent, or they contribute money for electricity, or they contribute money for Ashwebi. Please do not use your business bank account for that. I'm going to say that. Thing that is not business related, do not use your business bank account for that. It's going to spoil your data, right? Your bank statement is a strong data source for a lot of things. When you are going for visa, you are going for what's it called now? You are going for position. You are going for what's it called? Grants. You are going for loans. You are going for partnership. What do they always ask for? All of them, they will ask for your bank statement, because your bank statement tells you or tells them your person. If you are a shoe business and I'm seeing wig, I'm seeing nail, I'm seeing makeup, I'm seeing all the time, I'm seeing different things not related to your business, it tells me that you are not prudent and I will not want to work with you. So please take those messy situations away from your business. And then if for any reason somebody mistakenly do that, Please put narration, send the money back to the person and let the person go and pay to the right place. I'm very serious about this. It can be a bit of stress, but that stress would help you and it will tell the person you are serious. Oh, excuse me. Okay. So now talk about a bank statement. Money coming in, money going out. Excuse me. So now you have that sorted. What other documentations do you need to have? If you have staff, you need to have payroll every month. You need to have a payroll every month, even if the staff is the same, right? It is even more important if for like a farm business where your labor payment is, they might not be on your payroll, but you are paying them, right? You have to have that schedule, okay, to be able to know who you paid, how much you paid, and what is for. There have to be a document that backs that kind of payment, right? Whether you're having contract staff, you are having full-time staff, you are having what's the name they call it, staff that comes once in a while, you need to have record for that, right? With the tax deduction if necessary and all that, okay? So audit record is making sure that all the activities in your business are properly captured. So when you have that data, you are not able to say, okay, I have this information to back this money coming in or to back this money going out. Please give me a wave if you are understanding what I am saying. If you are following me, a wave, a wave, a wave, a wave. Are we still here? Are you still listening? Have I lost you? Fantastic. Oh, you, so are you saying yes, I've lost you? Oh, yes, you are here. Victoria Adelekon. Adel, let me stop there before I kill somebody's name. Okay. Okay, thank you, Akpemi. Fantastic. Yes, yes, yes. Good, good, good. Oh, fantastic. Akim, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, now you know what documents you have to give, your invoice, your payroll, and all contracts, all those things you know. So now let's talk about templates and reports, right? If you have a staff, oh, fantastic, Victoria. Yinka, thank you. So if you have a staff, right, you get to a point where you have a particular level of clients or customers or your operations where you definitely need people. And whatever area they are working on, they have to report on it, right? So let me go back and check. We have health. I think we have someone who said education and document processing. I wonder what document processing means. Let me use another one. Okay, yes, we have healthcare. So if someone is, let's say, receiving calls, directing customers, and whatever, handling a section of your business, they need to be able to keep records on that. And that's where designing templates and doing reports comes in, right? Even if you are a one-man business, I remember some years back when I was doing my business by myself and I was also doing other things. But one thing I knew because of my background is that I need to be able to record key information about my business, right? So I'm going to say two things. One, you need to record key information about your business. And I say key because you don't have to record everything about your business, right? Because then you would have data overload. Oh, okay, okay. I get you now from promise. Right? You would have data overload. Somebody walks in, you record. Somebody leaves, you record. Somebody goes to the toilet, you record. Somebody eats one spoon of food, you record. Somebody takes a jab, you record. No. You need to, first of all, think about it as a business and ask yourself, what are the key areas of my business that would help me to be able to get to the next level I want to get to? It might be increasing your revenue by 20% or 100%. It might be increasing your clientele. It might be increasing the number of people that take up a particular service or buys a particular product. So if, let's say now you have you for promise now compliance document processing. So if you have that, right, there are different compliance documents. So you might say, okay, I have 4 compliance documents that I process. I want to be able to get 50 customers per this for this quarter. So that means that you have to have a template that you are recording the people who come in to take compliance services. And then you are saying to yourself, when somebody comes, I'll have their name, the telephone number, what service they have. That is a template. So you design maybe an Excel sheet, a Word document, or whatever, a Google sheet, and say every time for every week somebody comes in, I'm going to be recording this key information because this now helps me to track whether I have my 50 people per compliance document or not. Right? So it is your goals that would help you to be able to know what documents you want to record or what templates you want to design. So when you now know what areas you want to track, you then ask yourself, what kind of information should I have in that template? So let's now say you realize that, or let's not say you realize, you sell on credits. That is one data you definitely have to keep. So now you want to keep your debtors record. Debtors are those that you sell on credit. So now that is a template you want to design. Using that as an example, what should be the information I am capturing in my debtors record? One, very important, is the name of the person or the company. You want to state the total amount of the invoice. You want to state the date you deliver the product or deliver the service. You want to state the date that that invoice will become due. You want to state whether the person has paid an amount, and when they've paid, which bank account and what date did they pay it? What balance do you have after the different payments that they've had? Right? So these are the information that should be in your templates so that whoever is recording it would ensure that those headings are filled. Right? So that template that you have designed, it is filled out, it becomes a report. So first things first, look at what areas are important in your business. And please, everything cannot be important, seriously, because you would have data overload and you cannot review all of them and you not leave all of them because you need to review all of them, right? Then you will now say, which templates do I have to? So it's important that you track your people who are buying on credit. So I need to do a debtors template. So now in the debtors template, I need to have 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 data for me to capture, to be able to know. So when you now have that report, what do you now do with it? So you are looking for that report because you want to make sure you're collecting your money on time. Again, we are going back to software. If you have your invoice, you don't even need invoicing and accounting app. You will not need to have a debtor sheet because that software would help you to track it, right? So please make sure that, like I said, before the end of today, try and get yourself ready or even set up an invoicing and accounting software. Okay, so now you have your templates and you have your reports. You have to check them because your templates and your reports are audit documents. That is how you are ready. We are currently doing audits. So NRS has given a letter to one of our clients to share data to prove whatever is in their audited accounts or in their financial reports. They did not have what I'm saying now. So we had to create it from scratch. I'm talking about 6 years or no, 5 years, right? So we now have to start asking questions from 5 years, actually 6 years, because it ended 2025. So we are in 2026 now, 6 years ago. So you can imagine, I'm not, I cannot even remember some things that happened last week. The details of some things that happened last week. You want to come and tell me to remember things I did 6 years ago. You see the problem? So if you don't have those records, you will not be able to now properly avoid issues that comes with audits, right? And it can also be internal. If you yourself, you want to be able to know what did you spend money on, and you cannot remember what you paid 500,000 for, how are you going to know where to put it to say, okay, this is total expense I spent. I spend this on salary, I spend on inventory. How will you know where to put that 50,000 or 100,000 if you don't know where you spent it on? So audit record or audit readiness is also important for the growth of your business. So when you are done with that report and you are done with those templates, the next thing you want to do is to make sure that that report is correct and that report is up to date, especially when you are not the one doing it. Sometimes even the ones you're supposed to do, you are behind. Talk less of your staff that when you don't check, they will not do it. The one thing I learned when I was doing my master's, the things that work and the things that attract are the things that you track. Does that make sense? The things that attract or the things that work are the things that you track. So if you do not track your sales will not be tracked. If you don't take seriously tracking your expenses will not be tracked. So you need to insist every week, where is my expenses record? Where is my sales record? Even your sales record, people prefer POS or they prefer transfer. That would tell you whether you should make sure that you have at least 2 POS. At least one should be working because your customers prefer POS. If they prefer transfer, you have to make sure that your transfer account details, they are in visible places and multiple places and clear all the time so that when they come, and you can even have soft copy if you are an e-business. So that because these are the things or ways that you sell. Okay? So these are the things that you need to track. Then another thing is internal controls. Internal controls are things that you put in place to check and balance, right? Also, one of the things I put in place when I'm designing operational structure is that nobody starts and ends a process. So if somebody is the one that is taking somebody around to see what products they should buy, that person should not be the same person that is selling to them on the till, or the same person that is confirming payments. No. Because the person tells them what to buy, collects money, confirms payments, close out payments, do reports of payments, and finalize everything. My brothers and sisters, you are in trouble, right? So no one person should start and finish a process. You can have 2 staff and have 10 activities, and yet those 2 staff are the ones that are not starting and ending those 2 activities. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have 2 staff, you sell and you buy. The person that is selling on the till is not the same person that is buying the product. But that person selling on the till can be the one to say, these are the products that we need to buy, but they're not the one buying it. But the person buying it must not be the one to say, these are the products we need to buy. The person selling on the till should not be the one to confirm payments. The one that is buying can be the one that is confirming payments. So you see, you don't have to have a big team to be able to ensure that your controls are in place. So let's give another example of controls. Whenever you are doing your report as a CEO, right? One of your role, or the boss or the founder, or the name we give ourselves, right? One of the things you have that is your responsibility is not selling. When I mean selling, like operational, right? It is ensuring that your business is working, that your business is flowing, that you are doing what you need to do to be able to take your business to the next level, right? So what you need to do, you have put a template for sales to be recorded, or you have a software that invoices should be recorded. What you need to do is that maybe you can choose Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever, to say, if I say I check on Friday, from Saturday till the next week, last week Friday or next week Friday, I have to check that everything that is supposed to be recorded has been recorded. And everything that is said is sold has been receipted, and I see the money in the bank account. You cannot do it. Please get somebody to do it, because if you don't do it or it is not done, you will lose money. I'm telling this to you as a surety. There are people that they trust, and over trust now happens that things are falling in the cracks, right? It might not even be theft, it might just be oversight. But when you point this out from time to time, it becomes the norm that that kind of mistake does not happen again. But if you don't check, it will not be checked. So those are things that are internal controls. Again, you have to pick the area that are weak points in your business. So if from time to time a customer can come and do cash sales, you have to make sure you have an internal controls to be able to check sales, right? So please ensure that any weak point in your business has internal controls. Is sales, inventory management, cash, expenses, budgeting. That's another thing that you have to have in your audits. You have to have a budget and try as much as possible to keep to the budget. So now the last thing I'm going to say before I open the floor for questions is tax. Tax is part of your audits, right? If you know you are not good with it, please outsource it, or get an internal staff that is good, that can handle it for you. There are a number of tax. Our time is quite fast spent. I'll try and rush through the case studies and then quickly touch on tax. But there are a number of taxes that you have to be compliant with. As a business owner, outside business, there's life. You might be a father, you might be a mother, you are married, you have your religious activities. In fact, you have to still sleep. You have to live the baby girl and baby boy life. When I even say baby girl, baby boy life, it's not necessarily going to flanger. You have to rest. You have to take a breather. You have to enjoy the good things of life. Taking a stroll. It's not everything high blood pressure all the time. You need to live life that God has brought you into, right? So if you are not able to balance that, and you have all these things that has to be done, please outsource it to people who can, like us, right? I think I don't know if our Instagram and WhatsApp number has been shared. Okay, please share it and please reach out to us if you need help in that. Just when you send us a message, just say you are from Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. Say that and you would have a discount, right? For those who are in the training, you would have a discount for our tax and accounting services. Okay, you can send us a WhatsApp or send us a DM on Instagram and we'll reach out to you. But please make sure your business is up to par. Okay, I'm going to pause here before we go to the case study. Do we have questions? You can raise up your hand and talk if you can unmute, or you can send your message on the chat and I'll get to it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Madam Olubimi. So for those that have questions, there's a Q&A box that you can use to drop your questions and it will be attended to. So if you know that you have questions, you can use the Q&A box to ask your questions and they'll be attended to. Thank you so much so far to those that have filled our poll. We can see your responses. But for those that are yet to fill, please would like to get your feedback. Please do endeavor to drop to fill the poll that has been launched on your screen. So I can see that there's a question already in the Q&A box. I'll read that out now. Okay, so someone's saying, good afternoon, Mark. Can we get the name of the accounting app and equally how to connect with you later? I think that has been dropped by you. If you can just please re-answer that, yes.
Yeah, so I said Zoho. Let me type it. I said Zoho app. So you can just type Zoho on your Google or your browser and it will take you there. And then I have my WhatsApp number and Instagram link to my profile on the chat, so you can reach out to me. Yes. We have Zoho for accounting and invoice. We have for inventory and all that. So please check it out and try to use that. Any other question?
So for those that are joining us on our other social media platforms, I'll be calling out the WhatsApp number. So the WhatsApp number is 080-8750-5657. I repeat, 080-8750-5657. So that is to those that are joining us on our other social media platforms and don't have direct access to what is being posted in the chat box. So please, if you have your questions, you can drop it in the Q&A box so that we can read them out. I can see Victoria is saying she has 2 questions. So please drop them in the Q&A box so that we can read them out. And if for those that are joining us on our social media platforms, you can also drop your questions in the chat box and we'll be reading them out for Madam Olubumi to answer. So Victoria, we're waiting for your question. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, Tayo. Okay, questions, so that we can maximize time. We have till 1. So we have less than an hour to go. Whilst we are waiting for Victoria's question, can we start with the first case study? And when the question comes, I would then answer it. Does that work? Okay, I'm going to take that as a yes. Okay, I think one question just came in. Okay, I see a question here. Firstly, fire extinguisher purchase for the business, should it be classified as an asset? Okay, fantastic question, Victoria. So fire extinguisher, I believe it expires. I think it has expired date, if I remember. 1, 2, how much is it now? I can't remember. It depends on the size of fire extinguisher. So this is what it is. When you are trying to classify something as assets, you want to look at what is your minimum amount of money that you will spend. And if that thing would be will last you more than 1 year. So if the fire extinguisher, it has a expiring date and it's not up to 1 year, it cannot be an asset. That's one. Two, if in your assets you have things like a building of 10 million, you have car of 12 million, you have a generator 8 million. If you buy a fire extinguisher of 80,000, 90,000, that cannot be assets because it is too small in the level of assets you have, right? So even though, what they call this now, where you plug extension box, what does that mean? I think that's the name, right? Extension box, I have one that I have used for more than 2, 3, I think 5 years now. But I bought it for less than 5,000 naira. Even though it's going to have a lifespan of more than 1 year, I will still have to expense it and not put it as my asset because the value is so small, right? So I'm using this example to explain what you should put on assets and what you should not put on assets. Victoria, I hope that helps. And what's your second question? What's the second question? We go, we go to our case study. Time is flying by so quickly. I hope you are learning something. I hope you are learning. Give me a thumbs up or say yes if you are learning, just to make sure we are all awake and alive. Any question on the other platform, Ms. Tayo?
So there are no other questions on the other platform, so we can just go ahead with Victoria, because of the familiarity of our session, you won't be able to unmute, but please you can drop your question in the Q&A box and we would attend to it, please. So while we are waiting for more questions, you can please go ahead with the next segment. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so thank you, thank you, thank you. You're learning, you're learning. Fantastic. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. So I'm going to give a case study. This is going to be for a product business. I'm going to give you the scenario of the business, right? And we are going to pick on, so I'm going to give the product business, which will be our case study for what can be wrong in a business, and the service business and what can be right in the business, right? So that you're also able to see how it applies to business in real world, okay? So the first case study, which is a product business, it's a business that has 3 staff members, but they do not have clear roles. It is how they are assigned that it's, they don't have JDs, they don't have KPIs, but they are 3 staff, right? Then when new staff comes, there's no official or clear onboarding. They just, when they come, they say, this is what you are doing, these are your devices, oh yeah, go and work, and they will not start assigning things to you. They don't onboard them. Then sales are recorded in a book, not analyzed, right? So they come, when sales happen, they record, yes, but it's in a book. If soup, what's it called, ephoreo oil, touch that book, it's gone, right? Inventory are bought and sold as the need arrives, right? So the CEO will just look at it and say, we need to buy this. There's no analysis on what should be bought. It's just based on the intuition of the CEO, and he or she is the purchasing officer. No fixed or periodic inventory count or reconciliation. Expenses are as needed, no budget. When something comes up, oh yeah, take money, go and buy, right? It is not based on a budget. CEO is overwhelmed, but keeps going, right? They are tired of their mind, but they have no choice but to keep going. No knowledge of tax, so not done, because they don't know what tax is about, so they don't do it. Bank balance is just balance and not a strategic tool. The CEO consider opening another branch to improve income, right? So these are the situations of this case study, right? So let's break it down. What are the implications of these situations in audit readiness? What are these situations? What are the implications of these situations in making sure that you are not in trouble when you are audited? Let's break it down. So we have key areas. The first one was the staff. They have three staff, and I'm sure as I mentioned these things, you are seeing the ones that apply to your business. I'm not going to say which one applies to your business. You know which ones apply to your business. So as we talk about it, and I recommend what to be done, please start applying it. Okay? So there are three staff. But these staff do not have clear goals. I remember doing operational structure, and I asked the business owner, how many staff do you have? He said, see, I said, okay, these 20 staff, what they do, he said, they just help in different areas. I said, okay, what are the roles? Or do they have employment? Really, they just come, just help in the warehouse, they just help in selling, just help in managing. That is a problem. Okay. So what you need to do now, if you have staff, also before the end of this week, Saturday, Sunday, please ensure that every staff, call the person's name, Ayo, Yetunde, Bisola, what am I calling all Yoruba names? Ikechuku, whatever, right? What should each of them be doing? How do you know how to assign if you're not assigned before? You want to look at your work from where you attract customers to where you close out and say, this staff, what are the things they have to do to help my process from beginning to end, right? You have to make sure that everything that your business has to do has been assigned to somebody, including you, right? You also, as the business owner, needs to have something you are doing, whether it's reviewing reports, you are looking at inventory levels, you are replenishing inventory, all that, you have to have that. So I'm going to quickly run. So that's new staff. That's existing staff. Then when you are recruiting, of course, you now have to make sure that they are coming to fit a role that nobody is already doing. If you give two people the same thing to do, nobody will do it. I am telling you, I'm an operations structure person, and I will tell you for free. If you don't make somebody responsible for something, nobody will do it. So even if you say that you have a warehouse and you have 5 people that ensure that products go in and out, divide the warehouse in sections, assign people to sections, and say, okay, this is drinks inventory area. I'm just giving an example for warehouse. Let me give an example with our business. What our business is? Let me go up and okay. We have healthcare. I think I've used healthcare before. I've used fashion. Okay. Let me go to confectionaries. And what do you do with confectionaries? Is it that you buy and sell? So let's say you, again, I think the warehouse or the storage location will work. You would have different classes of confectionaries. And if the warehouse or the storage is so big and you are assigning more than one person to it, let them be responsible for different types of products so that in case something is missing, you have somebody to hold for it. But if you have two people and they just do it, say, it's not me, oh, it's not me. Then seriously, who is it then? Is it you? It's not you. So you need to make sure your new staff is being assigned to something someone is not already doing. If you have a staff that is not performing, you don't have to employ a staff that will still be, no, seriously, you fire that person and get the person that is competent. When it comes to business, it's not emotional. If you want to do emotional, you can use your own personal money to do emotional. Business money is not emotional money. It is strategic money. So you have to be strategic with it, right? So we have new staff. Sales recording invoice, I'm not going to say that because we've talked more about it. You cannot use book and pen. You have to use a software, right? Inventory bought on CEO guest and assumption, you cannot do that. You have to do inventory purchase based on analysis, and that's where templates come in. Zoho also have inventory software that you can use for your inventory. All your inventory will be entered into Zoho. As they sell and they do invoice, the inventory will reduce. Your inventory software data can now be used to assess what you should buy. It's what is moving that is sold. It's not what you feel emotionally attracted to. Okay? Then no fixed period of inventory count. Of course, you have to have inventory. If you have fast-moving products, you have to count more frequently. And you can also do spot checks. What are spot checks? You can just come into the office, nobody knows inventory is happening. Just pick 2 or 3 products and say, let's count this product today. But you have to have a time where you are counting everything and you match your closing inventory for that period to what it should be. And when there's variance, you have to know why there's variance, okay? This is your audit trail. I'm not saying this just for saying sake. These are the things that would help you make decisions. These are the things that would help you to keep proper record for audit. Then CEO considering open another branch. You don't open another branch because you want more income. One branch can help you to get as much money as you want. You open another branch where you have perfected everything about that branch. And you are now duplicating your success in another branch that will meet another segment of your customers. So don't just open another branch, another location, another whatever, just because you want to make more money. You have to make sure you are multiplying good, not multiplying errors. Okay, so I'm going to pause with this case study. Keep your questions coming whilst I read or look at the questions. You want to read these or I can go ahead? Miss Tayo.
Yes, I'll be reading it out. So we have 2 questions, one from Victoria, and it says that if the company has 2 arms, like clothing and fashion academy, and we use the money from the clothing line to run or fund the academic project, how do you think this should be treated? And do you think we are doing the appropriate thing?
Okay, fantastic. So when you say 2 arms, it can mean 2 things. Is it like 2 registered business or 2 income stream in one business? So I will answer both because we might have similar situations here. So if you have 2 companies that are doing 2 things, so clothing and fashion in your situation, then if the money for one is used in the other one, then that one is lending this other one money. So the same way I explained it, where I said, when you are giving your money to the business, don't spend from your accounts. Transfer the money to the business account and spend from there. The same thing. You need to now move the money from one business to the other business and spend for that business in that area. Of course, we have those kind of situations. But if it's the two arms or two areas are under one business, then of course you can spend as you wish. But in terms of growth, right? And in terms of audit trail, and in terms of reporting, you have to ask yourself, why is it that the fashion academy is not able to fund itself? As business owners, there are some difficult decisions that you might have to make. If the fashion academy for 2 years, 3 years is not able to fund itself, in fact, I would say 6 months. If you are running it back to back, 6, 8 months, and it's not able to fund itself, you have to ask yourself this question. Should you be doing the academy? One. Two, are you overspending for the academy? And three, are the income coming in for that academy good enough to sustain it as a business line? Because sometimes we as business owners, we have passion projects and we call it business. No. You can go and use, if you are, I'm being honest here, if you are passionate about teaching, you can do it from your own personal pocket. Don't add this to the business and let the business suffer, right? So you want to ask yourself those questions and you want to implement, whether it's two separate businesses or two lines of business in one industry, under one company, right? And then you want to see what you are spending in the place that is not bringing as much money to cover what is supposed to cover. And then ask yourself those three questions. I hope I helped. Can we move to the next question?
So Victoria, yes, I think Victoria got that perfectly.
Okay.
We have another question, and it says, as a new sole proprietor earning below 500,000 and a part-time employee, are we expected to pay different tax separately? That is business tax and personal tax.
Yes, the straight answer is yes. I don't know if we have time for tax, so I'm just going to say this. A sole entrepreneur means you are registered as a business name, right? And as a business name, you are supposed to either pay VAT or file VAT without paying, right? So if you are making below 500,000, you are not expected to pay VAT, but you are expected to file and declare how much you are paying every month. Again, if you need clarity for your business because of time, please reach out to me so I explain your exact situation. But the flat answer is yes. You are supposed to file VAT every month, even if you are making less than the 100 million. So your situation 500,000, and I'm guessing 500,000 per year, not per month. If you multiply by per month, I don't think it still gets to that. But again, please know that you are supposed to file. So if you make sales of 20,000, 30,000, 500,000 every month, you need to declare it to NRS to say, this is what I've made, but there's no VAT payable, so I am filing this sales, but not to pay VAT. It is, you only file nil. That's one mistake people do. You only file nil if you did not make any money, no 1 naira entered into your bank account as sales. If you made sales, please, I beg in the name of God, don't file nil. If not, when you are audited, you would have problems. I mean, big problems. So that's the first part. The second part is, yes, You will pay tax separately for your staff and for yourself. As a part-time staff means that they are not on your payroll. So the tax that applies to that part-time staff is WHT, withholding tax. Withholding tax is what you declare. But from this year, there is a limit of 1.2. If the person is not making up to 1.2 or the minimum wage, you don't do any tax, but you still have to declare. So when you are paying them from your bank statement, please state it so that they know, and let you and your staff have a tax ID. For you as the business owner, you don't necessarily have to pay your tax every month. You can pay your tax once a year and file your tax once a year on or before 31st of March of the following year. You will pay the tax of the previous year. So if you are based in Lagos as you are supposed to be on e-tax, which is the Lagos State platform for tax, and you're supposed to pay that tax for yourself. Okay? We can go to the next one. I hope I helped. Hello?
So I
Okay.
hope that answered your question. We have one more question, and it says, what are the appropriate accounting reports expected from a business on monthly basis?
Okay, fantastic. Amazing question. So, standardly, you are supposed to have, oh, where's the question? Oh, the question has gone. What are the, what's the question again? What are the appropriate
Okay,
accounting reports?
yes,
Okay.
report expected from a business on a on monthly basis.
Okay, so you have, like I said, templates, and then you have standard reports. So with templates, of course, you want to have your sales. If you are a product business, you want to have your inventory, tracking that. Of course, like I said, you can use your software. Then you want to also have your payroll. If you have staff as on full time, you want to also have your payment schedule for people you pay monthly, right? So those are your reports internal. But in terms of monthly and standard reports, you want to have your profit and loss accounts. So that shows you what you have sold, what it costs you to make the sales, what are your expenses, and what are your profit. That's your first report. That's profit or loss, or under name income statement. The second one is your balance sheet. That tells you what you own, OWN, and what you own, OWE. The assets is what you call what you own, OWN, right? And your liabilities are what you owe, OWE. So, of course, they have to balance, but you want to know who you are owing and who are owing you, or what you have to be able to make or increase your business. The last one you can have is your cash flow. Your cash flow tells you how liquid you are. You can be making profit of 10 million, but you are negative, you can be negative in cash flow, because cash flow is like literally what gets the business to flow. So if you don't have good cash flow and you don't know how cash liquid your business is, you will not be able to know how to make decisions. So you might have made sales of, let's say, 5 million, but none of them have paid. That is a negative cash flow. So even though you might make profit because you might have sold and your expenses are low, you will not have cash flow because money has not entered your bank account. So you cannot buy things, you cannot pay things. So these are the three key reports, accounting reports you could have. So whether you are using an accounting software to do it, you have an accountant in-house, or you have an outsourced accountant like ourselves, you need to always have these three reports to be able to see what your business is doing in these three areas. Very well for you. I think it was anonymous. So I hope I helped. Do we have any other question? I'm not sure if we have enough time for the next case study. I
Yes,
think it would
you
be
can go ahead with the next case study, ma'am. So I can see
uh
that someone's hand is raised. Um, Please do drop your question in the Q&A box. We're unable to unmute you, so please do drop your question in the Q&A box. Please, Ma, you can go ahead with the next case study. Thank you.
Okay, we have about 15 minutes. I'm thinking, should we do case study or we should go to the tax situation?
Okay, you can go ahead with to the tax session.
Yes, I think so. I think so. Okay, so let's quickly talk about the tax, right? So there are three major taxes that every business would come in contact with, right? Three. One is your VAT, value added tax. The second is your payee and personal income tax. I put that in a bundle. And the third is your WHT or withholding tax, right? So I'm going to explain them as briefly as possible so that we have time for questions. So VAT is 7.5%, and you charge VAT when your sales or your projected sales and income. Remember, I said sales is what comes into your business from what you are doing, not necessarily the inflow into your bank account. Like, give example of the 5 million and the 1 million. So, or for the event business, when money has been paid into your account, but only part of it is your income, right? So the VAT is only on that part. If your sales is above 100 million for the year. So I always, when I ask this question, I'm like, I want to make money, but how do I know whether I will make? The first thing you can tell is what was your sales last year, right? If your sales last year was 60 million, 70 million, please just start charging VAT because by God's grace you will grow. One. Two, if you intend to scale 3 times, 4 times what you are now, if your last one was 50-20, you will get there, right? Because of the plans you have, start charging. And if you see that, oh, you've gotten a big contract that will push one income will be big. You might not have it continuously, but one would take you up to more than half of that target. Please start charging, right? Those are the ways you will know when to charge. Then who to charge? There are people who have a team and a registered business. Please don't be an individual. You don't have a team number with NRS and then you charge. Please, that's theft because you don't have any way to pay it. Don't charge. You are literally a one-man professional person. You are not a business. You cannot charge. You can only charge when you meet that level and you are a registered business with a TIN number. Okay? Then how do you file or what do you file? You have, so we had Tax Pro Max before, and I'm sure anybody who cares to know that Tax Pro Max has been shut down, which is the platform where all NRS taxes are being filed. Tax Pro Max has been shut down, and then now we have Rev 360, right? We now have Rev 360, which is a replacement for Tax Pro Max. So if you are not registered there, there's a link. Please send us a message. I'll send you the link for you to go and either update. So if you're already on Tax Pro Max, you can update. If you're not already on Tax Pro Max, you can register, right? So that's how to register. Then to file, whether you have made the 100 million or not, every registered CAC business, organization, foundation, NGO, limited, SME, whatever you call yourself, right? You have to file every month. If you don't file, there is a penalty of 50,000 in the first month that you don't file, and subsequently is 25,000. So what do I mean by that? If let's say right now we are in May, so we are filing for April. If by 21st of this month, May, you don't file your VAT, whether you have made money or not, I need to stress that. Filing is not whether you have made up to 100 million or not. Even if you have not made 100 million or you made zero, so far you've started operations, your bank account is receiving money or has started receiving money before, you need to file every month. So you will file every month, right, to avoid penalty. So if by 21st of May, you do not file for April, there will be a 50,000 naira penalty. Even if you have no VAT to pay, there will still be that penalty because you did not declare. Then in June, you still do not file for April, that will be an additional 25,000. That you do not file for April is 25,000. So by next month, 21st of June, you now have 75,000 penalty just for April. So now for May, if you don't file in June, 21st of June, you have a penalty of 50,000. So now by June, you have 75,000 penalty, 50,000 for the other month. That's 125,000. And this is for a company that has no VAT to pay, or you are exempted. You are in the health, you are in the education, you are an NGO, you don't have any VAT to pay, irrespective of the amount of money you make. You will still have that penalty. That's VAT. Then payee is pay as you earn. You also would know, even if you live under a rock, that there's a new Finance Act and the payee computation has changed. I cannot teach computation in this class. We literally have just 6 minutes. I'm hoping we would have additional time for questions. But with payee, it is based on your staff, right? When you are paying staff, if they are earning above 800,000, excluding pension contribution, if they are earning 800,000 or less, you do not have to pay payee. But if they are earning 801,000 and more, you have payee to pay for them every month that you do salary. So if you like us to design your payroll for you, to help you to calculate your payee, to do pay slips for you, whatever in those areas, please again reach out, right? Then, of course, like I already mentioned before, your personal income tax is for the directors, business owners. You can do that once a year. The last one is WHT. I will explain WHT as the opposite of VAT. Why do I say that? VAT is paid from what you sold, but withholding tax is paid from who you are paying to. So when you make sales, you charge VAT if you need to charge VAT and you pay the VAT. But with WHT, when you are paying, for example, rent is one of the things that when you pay, you have to pay withholding tax. So if you pay your rent, you're supposed to deduct 10% from the rent and pay your landlord 90% to your landlord. Then you get your landlord's tax ID, whether the team, if it's a company that owns the property, or the personal tax ID of the owner of the business of the building, to pay for WHT, right? So WHT is paid on professional fees, is paid on rent, is paid on contracts, is paid on goods and services that you did not produce, right? So there are different percentage. Again, there are different things to talk about withholding tax. If you need specific things for your business, please reach out. I want to pause here. I think I saw some questions, so we can maybe handle it. Hello, Miss Taya?
Okay, yes. So I have two questions in the Q&A box so that we can just answer that and then we'll end the session for the day.
Okay.
Okay, so I have one from Albert. Ido and is asking, as a poultry and crop farmer, what is expected of the farm in terms of tax and auditing? It is a registered limit. It is a limit registered business, as in limited liability company. I think it's registered under limited
Okay,
liability. Yes.
fantastic. So poultry and crop farmer. So poultry and crop farmer, you are exempted from paying, right? From paying VAT. But as a limited liability company, you every year you are expected to have your financial reports audited. So the first thing is prepare a management account. Your accountant can do that for you, or you reach out to us, we do that for you for the year. And then that account is then sent to an auditor or an audit firm to audit. That is the audited accounts you will now file with NRS, right? And also with CAC, right? So that's what you are required to do. If you are profitable and you are, I think, about 5 years in operations, your CIT might apply, but you are exempted from VAT. Again, you still have to file even though your sales are not vatable, you still have to file every month. So register on the Rev 360, start filing. If you need help, please reach out. Okay, please share our contacts again. Any other question?
Yes, I
Thank you,
think
Victoria.
someone is asking for the NRS link to register.
Uh, I don't have it ready available, but reach out to us. We'll send it. I'll send it to you. Reach out to us. I'll send it to you. Either way, my WhatsApp or Instagram. Someone will definitely reach out to you and send you the link. And that's on Rev 360. I don't know about that
Okay,
one.
so I think that's the final question that we have on the session. So for Adela Kwalani, for the recording, you can please go to our YouTube channel. We are at Lagos State Employment Trust Fund on YouTube, and then you have access to a replay of this particular session. So in the absence of any other question, Madam Olubumi, I would like to say a very big thank you to you for taking out time off your busy schedule to facilitate the session. I'm pretty sure all of our participants have learned a whole lot um, on how to be audit ready, and I'm sure they'll be able to, put all of the things that they've learned today into practice, and not just put it into practice. So for a whole lot of things that you learn, there are times when you need to go back to the recording, rewatch it, and there might be one or two things that you didn't pick up the first time that you pick up while rewatching the recording. So you can please go to our YouTube channel to rewatch for those that probably joined late, and even those that even joined from the very beginning. You still have a whole lot that you can learn from there. And thank you so much to everyone that's joined us, not just on our Zoom platform, but also on our other social media platforms. We really appreciate you taking our time off your busy schedule to attend this session, to come learn, to come improve yourself as a business owner and as yes, particularly as a business owner in Lagos State. Thank you so much also, Madam Olubumi. We really appreciate you taking our time off your schedule to come facilitate today's session for us. And we look forward to having you at future sessions. We hope you would heed our call once we called on you to please come facilitate a session for us. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. While the moment the session comes to an end, you would find a survey displayed on your screen. So the major reason for the survey is to get your feedback on today's session, what you've learned about today's session, and to know how to serve you better here at the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. My name remains Omotaya Business Business and Project Support Officer here at the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. We are going to be having two very, very interesting sessions next week. And for many of us that are business owners, there are a lot of us that are looking forward to scaling. There are a lot of us that are looking forward to getting our products into supermarkets and the likes. This is one of the sessions that we're taking on Tuesday, and we'll also be talking, and given that this month, the month of May, is a month where mental health is being celebrated, we'll be having a session on mental health as a business owner in right here, not just in Lagos State, but in Nigeria as a whole. So, for all of these sessions, please be on the lookout. There will be um the link to register to join the session will be posted on our social media platforms. So please do follow us, like I said, follow us on all social media platforms. Turn on your post notification. Now, this is very important that you turn on your post notifications so that whenever we post an opportunity, you do not miss out on it. Thank you so much, everyone. And I look forward to having you next week at our next session. Thank you so much once again, Madam Olubumi, and we
Thank
look forward to
you.
having you. Do enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.